Yo!
Yo.
What up?
And we're back.
We are back.
We
are.
We are back.
We're back.
We are live.
So live.
So
Notice
live,
anything different?
Kev's arms are huge.
No,
Dude, that's
awesome.
not
No,
different.
it's been that way since
Same old
2016.
Kevin's arm.
Notice anything different, bro?
Which way was the beach again? We have some more decorations here.
I
Nice
think that's
little-
going to happen every week. There's going to be something new that's going to kind of pop up and surprise you.
Nice.
Yeah, because
Add
The
that to the
decor.
list. Add that to the list of bits.
I would
that
like to
we
see
will be
some-
using.
Yeah. Our decor for the day.
Sheriff in the house. What up, Sheriff?
just bringing up some of these websites to make sure that you guys are all tuned in to watch our live podcast.
Load it up.
Yeah.
Load it up.
As you know, of course, we want to chat with you
Come
guys.
on in. School's up. Let's go.
Just like AFA Live, this is an interactive stream.
We are
Thank you, everyone, for subscribing to our YouTube channel and
Yeah.
adding love to our live shows. It's really helping us out.
Anybody else notice anything else different? You actually cannot see our legs this time, which is cool because last time I wore sweatpants because I did not think you would see our legs, and you did. And now this time I made sure to wear nice designer pants because our band manager is watching right now, and you cannot see these pants.
I am actually wearing.
Nice,
He's nice and
I'm even
comfortable.
wearing flip flops and shit.
nice, tight.
I always wear flip-flops.
Mostly irrelevant. Yeah. So no change there. Just like there was no change in the size of my biceps.
I got a nice haircut. I did get a haircut.
Nice.
That's true. You got the really nice
there.
part
This
going
podcast.
on. Rough but neat.
We are
Podcast
live.
Instagram story is live.
That's it. Sick.
We're live.
Oh, are you live on Instagram or are you
No,
just
it's
storying?
not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. Hey, John, welcome.
We just love being live in every capacity imaginable.
We just can't help but be live
Be
At
live
all.
like this crowd.
at all times.
We're live.
So before we dig into this podcast, which we've already pretty much dug into, Sean John, what's going on in the world, man? Sean John and I have a running joke that I'll come in to like a rehearsal. I'll be like, "Yo, did you hear about this?" He goes, "Dude, I read that like 2 days ago." And then I'll be very on top of the news. And I'm like, "Dude, did you hear this?" He'd be like, "Dude, I woke up at 3 a.m. to read that." So I just
My morning poops consist of CNN. A lot of CNN.
You got to balance it out with some Fox News.
I know we got to diversify
In
the
the
news
shower.
outlets a bit. What's going on? We just read that China teleported something.
Oh yeah.
to-
Well, yeah. I don't know like the big big scoop on it, but apparently we're teleporting things. Well, China is teleporting things.
Yes.
Photons to be exact. But
Interesting.
Oh.
yes.
You like that? My photon sounds.
I
Are you
think
sending
they are
photons?
just barely getting away with using the word teleport, but still scientific and cool. Look it up, and you can educate us.
Well,
Yeah.
the sci-fi fear of that is returning to this realm with your like atoms all out of whack and discombobulated. Right?
Yeah, like your
Like a
butt,
Rick and
like
Morty
your
show.
butt on your face and like
Yeah,
your
yeah.
feet on your hands.
And then
Inside
what?
Out.
So feasibly, do you just keep going through teleports, hoping you get right again?
yeah,
Wow.
you
You
gotta
know,
sign a
trial and
waiver.
error.
10 years trying to get my ass off my face.
That feels like a Rick and Morty skit.
Yes.
You know?
For sure.
Definitely been
Jeff Goldblum
That's
movie.
Your ass is on your face, Morty.
Is it a Jeff Goldblum movie?
Yeah, The Fly.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I've heard of that. I've
Yeah,
never
well,
watched
a
that.
fly. In this case, they got him combined because the fly was with him when they teleported.
Yeah,
correct.
He tested it.
I
on
haven't seen the
himself,
movies, but I know about it.
And yeah, Fly. Spoiler alert: the Fly went into the pod where he was to be teleported to the other pod, and then they got teleported together. So then they got meshed together, and he got all this like superhuman fly strength, and
Oh boy.
you'll see it's a good movie. You should catch it, man. It's like from like the 90s,
I'm sure I will
80s,
see.
80s.
I might have to
Surprised
watch
they
it.
haven't remade it.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a good point.
Jeff Goldblum's still
Yes,
killing
it
it
is.
though. What
Always.
was his character in Thor Ragnarok? Who was that?
He was like the
The,
king of that like
no,
planet, or it wasn't. Maybe he wasn't a king, but he was
He
like.
had such a simple name. I forget the name of his character.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Eccentric. He was as Goldblum as ever though.
Yeah,
You know, he hasn't
absolutely.
lost any of his Goldblum.
I don't think
You
he,
hired
he didn't
Gold-
change much of his character.
He's
in that.
lost a little Jeff because the Jeff pool is, it's getting watered down. He's
Like,
as Goldblum as ever.
Lord of Sparkles.
Anyway, so China teleported something to the moon, and Jeff Goldblum's still doing well.
Yeah. And we should all be satisfied that R. Kelly's behind bars right now.
Yes,
Oh, that's
we will
good.
be satisfied about that.
Good riddance.
Especially given like
Also satisfied that Aziz Ansari is still incorporating R. Kelly into his stand-up. Fantastic stand-up,
that
by
out.
the way, on Netflix.
Well, he's
most
definitely
recent.
trying to shift the blame. Well, guys, I fucked up.
No, he was actually
But
a
look
very,
at R. Kelly.
Yeah.
No, I heard he was cool, but I mean, I heard he addressed it and he did it properly. I guess in a way that
Yeah, what even happened with that? I remember
Seems
hearing it
genuine.
briefly and then it kind of disappearing.
right.
Yeah, that's
just-
a topic for another I shouldn't even brought it up.
Why not?
Yeah.
What else are we going to talk about?
Something less politically charged.
Yeah. Well, again, it's something that came up in news, and it was. I think he addressed it in his stand-up. So again,
Check it out. Check it out.
yeah. It was, and regardless, it was pretty funny. Pretty funny stand-up.
It was a funny stand-up, not a funny
I was going to say,
incident.
yeah, it
Not
doesn't sound like a funny situation
Not a
at all.
funny
no,
situation.
not at all. Right.
Wouldn't wish
Funny,
that on
after
anybody,
that,
really.
he made us laugh with some funny stuff. But anyway,
He is a funny guy.
So last week we dug into the Billboard mainstream rock charts because as what we consider to be a mainstream rock sounding band, we love the style of music. It's probably one of my more favorite styles, and we kind of dug into a lot of those songs. If you guys were with us last week, you heard a lot of that. We dug into some of the specific songs, which I would like to come back to this list every week. But before we get into the list, maybe we could all chat a little bit about what we're listening to that's new, that's outside of this list. Anybody,
Absolutely.
Any new tunes, guys? Any new albums?
no.
well, yeah.
What are you listening to then?
It's Rob Thomas.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Rob
Yeah, that album
Thomas.
is actually pretty good. I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
The one that
Yeah. it was
Lonely.
Lonely no
Yes.
more. Kind of.
Are we
lonely
getting
no
cut in
more.
and out on the stream? It seems like Twitch is giving us a problem.
Twitch. Well, if you're watching on Twitch, come on over to YouTube.
It might just be my computer, but yeah, if you're on Twitch, why?
Yeah,
Check
come
out the
on
Tubi.
over.
There is someone on
Twitch is twitching out.
Seems that way.
Rob Thomas is always cool, man. Rob Thomas. What were some? I mean, Lonely. What other? Are there any other big songs on that album?
It's got a lot of percussions on all his songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big. that
Yeah,
was a
like
big
Her
banger.
Diamonds was later. I think the next album.
Ah.
But yeah, that was the hit, man. That was cool. It was cool at the time. But yeah, I'm just hearing.
Heck yeah.
I'm just listening to lots
Heck
of
yeah.
progressive stuff. Yeah, I have nothing really that I don't know if anyone would really be interested in. But I usually just when I'm working, I just want something kind of mindless and progressively awesome.
Yeah.
So
True.
I go for the Dolly
True.
Thundering concept currently. Shout out to Chris Castano. I'm sure
Oh,
he does
yeah.
that. And then the Drusiv Stalin.
Oh yeah.
Drusiv Stalin's musical endeavors.
Yeah,
I
something like
believe.
that. Yeah, it's cool.
What's
Very
it
cool
called?
stuff.
It's called
Stalin.
Drusiv Stalin, I believe, a spin-off of
Mr.
the
Joseph
Stalin. This is not a communist manifesto, however. It's just an epically progressive, it's like Tesseract if they were like human abstract.
It's more like
neo.
democratic socialism. Is what you're saying. Got it.
When you put the democratic in front, it just sounds so much nicer, Kevin. I mean,
Hey Millie, what's up? Millie saying, does this work?
hey Millie,
In what
up?
capacity? Will we see your comment? Welcome.
Welcome.
I've been checking out this band called Greek Fire. They just had a new album. It's probably more like
Greek Fire.
a long EP. I don't think it was even 10 songs long. But Greek Fire is a band that's the singer, guitar player.
It's
is
what our
the guy-
manager spits all the time. Yo.
Yeah,
Greek
he does.
Fire.
Dude, we got all the Greek Fire on Sunday.
Our
We
bar-
had
yeah.
a little band barbecue
We
on
had-
That was
Sunday.
amazing. Tax Boy BBQ.
There was a lot of Greek Fire that day, but the band Greek Fire is the former guitar player and high harmony singer from Story of the Year.
Oh.
Moon is his nickname. I think his
Cool.
real name is Philip something or other. The band is pretty cool. You can really hear like what his influence was on Story of the Year songwriting, and
He was a big songwriter. That
yeah,
band,
for sure.
man.
He was a big singer, and you can hear. I mean, his vocal presence was always big in Story of the Year, and it's certainly. I can't tell if there are other people singing with him in Greek Fire,
Right.
but Greek Fire is the more like, especially with this new album. It reminds me of it's like doing what Stranger Things does as an aesthetic. It's like a modern, very modern production of like an 80s style music. Just like Stranger Things is a very modern production of like something that's happening in the 80s. So
Cool.
take that for what it is.
Sounds dope.
They have some hard rock, some of that Story of the Year rock involved too, but it's a cool
I'll
band.
check that out.
Definitely a lot
Yeah,
of
most
cool
definitely.
80s revivalist stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yes, there is.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool, Kev.
Is that like a thing that happens? Is it kind of like we look back like 3 decades or so? Because
is there always
like-
something to that?
like
Are we
it-
going to
like
be doing like
10 years-
grunge 10 years from now?
yeah, like remember like there was a time where like you got movies like Boogie Nights coming out. It clearly wasn't that time era anymore. But
Right.
people
It
were
was-
fetishizing that time era.
Right. Well, that
Are we fetishizing the 80s now?
I think we are.
We're remaking all these Disney movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we go
yeah.
it's the 2-decade rule, like
it?
maybe
Yeah.
3 decades. So Boogie Nights came out, was it late 90s or early 2000s?
Probably late 90s.
Late-
And
I
now
would
is
say late
about like
90s.
the beginning of
Yeah,
the
I don't think I was
And that,
pornographic scene.
Boogie
like
Nights would have
70s.
taken place in the late 60s, early
Oh,
70s.
was it late 60s?
I think
Gotcha.
it went into it
No,
spanned
yeah,
a lot of years.
Had been the 70s, yeah.
Yeah,
was
but I
definitely
think
after,
it started in the
Woodstock
60s,
era.
like just barely, right? And then I don't know.
I can
Can't
attest because
say-
I'm a fan of this movie that it ends with the tape being released.
Ah.
So they go from film to tape, and then Brazzers is born. Somewhere later down the list.
Okay, so moving on from Brazzers, let's jump back to the Billboard 40 list we were looking at. So some of the newcomers this week are a song called "Blow" by Ed Sheeran. Check out this list: Ed Sheeran with Chris Stapleton and Bruno Mars.
Yeah, dude, that was cool. I listened to it once.
Oh, you heard it?
Yeah, it was
Nice.
pretty dope.
They'd have to thank Old Town Road
what
for
kind of
that
music?
collab,
I
by the way.
Yeah, just listen to it. I think they brought it like old school to meets new school kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
Tight.
Well, I was gonna that whole country like pop hip hop crossover thing. It's that Lil Nas X. So now it sells.
You even
You
got
throw-
Bruno Mars in there with the funk. He's been
True.
doing
so,
the funk thing
so,
lately.
But that him and Ed Sheeran, I understand, and then you throw Chris Stapleton in there, who's from the country realm, who, again, not that they don't mix. Maren Morris did something with Zed, but there's definitely a lot more of crossover going on with that stuff. So whether people like country or not, it's coming, and it's
already
you'll
here,
hear-
I'd say, man. Old Town Road, dude.
Right. It's exactly.
That's the epitome
I like
of
it.
how here it is.
I like it.
Yeah.
I
I
wanted.
think
I
a
wanted,
lot of people like it.
Yeah.
I wanted to play
clear.
that song. I thought it was fun.
The other newcomer on the Billboard mainstream rock list this week is "Go" by the Black Keys.
Cool.
Big Black Keys fan.
Yeah.
I've probably heard that song before, but
Nice.
check it out. I like the Black Keys a lot. A lot of other movement on this list. "Help Me Stranger" by the Raconteurs moving up. Personally, I'm a huge Raconteurs fan.
Absolutely.
Alter Bridge, we're all Alter Bridge fans. They're
Yep.
moving up a little bit. I gotta check out this band Dinosaur Pileup. This is a
Sounds
solid
interesting.
name.
They've been around for a little while.
Have you heard their music?
Yeah, I've heard a song or two.
Was that a
That's
dinosaur?
what it sounds like.
That's what they sound like, right?
But like
Yeah.
they're
That's
all
what
piled up.
isn't that what Jeff Goldblum sounds like?
Must go faster.
He's like, oh no, there are. Oh no, there are dinosaurs. I don't think they are plant eaters.
Let me take the top half of the buttons on my shirt off.
I'm sweaty with glasses. And
He was really glossy in that scene.
he was
was.
glossy, wasn't he?
Glossy
But
and
and
hairy.
also in Independence Day, if you, the image I have of him in Independence Day is he's like kind of drunk and like hopeless with like a wife beater and like a
That's right.
flannel on.
That's right.
And he's just like,
And,
we're
then he's
die.
like, "We give it a cold."
That's right. I'm gonna give it a
A
cold.
cold.
I'm gonna give it a cold.
That's just one of the best movies.
Shout out to Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum's come up a lot so far in this podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to title it "Ode to Jeff Goldblum."
Yes, that will be the
Great dude.
the title in the finale. And
Very cool, weird
a
dude.
lot of other static songs on the on the list that were there from last week. But you also have our boys Disturbed moving up
Nice,
Ooh.
nice.
with No More. They're getting close to the top 5 now, which was a
Nice.
song we all saw them at Madison Square Garden. When was that? Actually, I think Dave, you had to work.
Yes,
Right.
It was unfortunate.
When was
Tragic because that was in 2019. It was the winter. That was a big moment I felt for metal music. I really felt like we were witnessing. It was Disturbed's first show at Madison Square Garden, and to see such a hard rock band who's been around for so long, climb and be able to pack. I mean, that place was packed.
I can imagine.
Yeah, maybe sold out. I don't know.
No,
Not sold out.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Definitely not. But it
No,
was.
but
How
it
many
was.
seats
How many
So
seats is
close.
MSG? It's huge, right? A lot of seats.
Yeah, and I mean, like they don't fill it behind the stage, obviously, for a show like that.
I see.
you don't want to see
yeah.
the backdrop.
Unless you're like Metallica with a rotating stage, and then they're like, Lars Ulrich wants all the seats sold, so he's like, let's get a rotating stage. Just I love Metallica though.
We'll stick it to Spotify, guys.
But I wanted to talk a little bit about Disturbed today, not only because, and I don't want to dwell too much on the fact that we did work with John Moyer, although hugely, as always, grateful and proud.
Shout out to J-Mo.
Shout out to J-Mo. Looking forward to working with him again on music we have coming up. But, even...
Real quick, I got this for you guys.
Oh.
Oh,
There he is.
Copyright free.
the man, the legend.
Goldblum.
Was that him in
show some skin.
Was that him in The Fly or?
No,
He had all the
that's
buttons
Jurassic
off.
Park.
That's
dude.
Jurassic Park.
yeah.
That was him.
Did he look like a
Ooh.
fly there?
Jeff. Nah, well, maybe it was like before before the
The
fusion.
transformation, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks normal.
Because he was
as hell
young then too. Yeah.
Before.
He looks sexy.
You guys remember in the first Pokemon game when
I know
Bill,
you do.
I'm about to tell y'all. Bill, remember it was Bill's PC. That's where you kept your
Yeah.
Pokemon, and you find Bill, and he's like, he was trying to do teleportation. See, it's funny. This whole thing is coming full circle because we were talking about teleportation earlier, and you have Goldblum and the Flea. Bill tries to get in the
Fly.
machine, the flea flicker. He gets into the teleporter, and then he comes out the other end as a Pokemon, and he's like, Pikachu, can you help me? And then okay, anyway. If I can interject Pokemon into a conversation, I am going to.
We will
He's in.
indulge
He's
you,
all
Kevin.
in.
Don't let
We
us
will
stop
indulge you,
you,
but
man.
All
I'm
chips
timing
are
you.
in.
You've got 5 minutes.
No, that's
Yeah.
way too long, Dave.
Well, again, I'm a nice guy, but I'm just being realistic. But
Nice.
I
Cut me off
see
sooner
here
than that.
Sheriff W.T. Justice. He said he liked, which is cool because well, I don't know if we ended up staying to see Our Last Night because if you guys remember Our Last Night, it's funny. I didn't make the connection between this band that plays awesome covers online, like Mirror and makes rock covers out of it, and Our Last Night. They're one and the same. So Our Last Night is this band. They do all this awesome covers and stuff like that, but they do originals too. So he had he was saying he really liked Our Last Night's
that out.
next album. So I would check that out. They do really cool covers. Like I
Nice.
remember I saw them do Mirror by Justin Timberlake, and
Cool.
it's awesome. I think they did Old Town
That's a
Road.
good song to do.
They hit as soon as they hear a new song that's hitting. They're like, all right, let's get to work. So it's pretty cool, and the originals are cool too. They're good
I
singers.
think we went to a show of theirs, right?
That's
Am I
what I'm saying. We
mistaken?
went to
Yeah.
see Don Broco, so shout out to Don Broco and Sheriff. Sheriff, check out Don Broco too if you get a chance.
Oh,
if you're
dude.
into Our Last Night, Don Broco is very cool too. Like upbeat. It's our favorite band. We can go on about that. You'll have to time me
For
too on
days.
how long I can go on about Don Broco.
You have to time all of us because I want to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
yeah, that's
We're all
our
big
Pokemon.
fans.
That's all of our Pokemon.
Yeah.
They'll be on the top
But
charts. So.
shout out to Don Broco. Check them out. I'm sure. Yeah, again, they're huge in UK. And they're working
And they
their
are
way
coming to New York City September 13th. September 13th at the Gramercy Theater.
And you guys aren't going because it's sold out, I believe.
Up. It is sold
Oh,
out.
snap.
We have our tickets. It is sold
Actually,
out.
Sean could share with you his expertise on scalping tickets.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think I lucked out for that show. They played at the
Maybe.
PlayStation Theater in New York City.
You got tickets for like a third of the price that
Yep.
we all paid for
Yeah.
that. So
Well,
Well, we were secured.
I was really
Yeah,
late. I
it's true.
didn't get it in time, and I'm stressing about it. And I really wanted to go to the show, and I'm like, screw it, I'll just go out and stand outside. So I do, and I'm standing around. It's raining a little bit. I saw like everyone from Periphery. I saw Elliot Coleman,
which is
from
cool. Yeah, you probably
Go Tiger.
got more FaceTime with
Yeah, I
some
said,
of
"What's
those
up,
dudes.
Jacob?" from Periphery, and there was a guy standing right next to the ticket window, and he's like, I'm asking people, I'm like, "You got any tickets?" And then he shows up, and then I'm kind of standing there in a very sorrowful cloud, and and he's standing next to me, and I go, "Hey, you got a ticket?" And the guy's like, "I have a ticket." I'm like, "How much?" He's like, "Yeah, $40." I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Because on StubHub, it was like 120.
Oh,
It was
man.
expensive.
Ooh, so
Wow.
much.
So
Towards
you
the end.
nailed it.
Yeah.
And then it's also like the fees too. So I got
Yeah.
$40.
Oh,
And I'm like,
nice.
why aren't you going to this show, man? He's like, I don't feel good. I'm like, I feel good now.
I know. I was gonna say.
Thank you, sick boy.
Yeah. You know what's funny? You could have felt sick, but upon getting that ticket, you might have even felt better.
Yeah, I mean, I could have had like some kind of AIDS or cancer, and I think it would have cleaned me right out.
Regardless, great night. It was-
Temporarily.
Yeah, great night.
Yeah,
Yes,
really
it was
fun
a
night.
workout. It was a workout.
I feel like that was the night where you and Jenny discovered how
Oh
awesome
yeah,
Don Broco
yeah. That
is.
definitely opened my eyes, and I jumped a lot.
Yes, they make you jump.
They do.
Definitely make you jump.
You know, we had to all do calf stretches the next day
Yep.
and the following
Definitely
day.
feeling it.
And the following day.
Absolutely.
The following day. Anyway, I was kind of talking about Disturbed a little bit because even though we've worked with them,
PlayStation
and of
Theater
course,
too, yes,
we've
Miller.
had a lot of exposure to Disturbed. We've been to a ton of shows, in the last
Ton.
thanks to the Greek Fire that we mentioned earlier. We've seen a ton of Disturbed shows, and it's been a blast, and it continues to inspire us. But 15 years before we even were introduced to any of those guys, I think we were all fans. So just kind of wonder what
Absolutely.
your guys' first Disturbed experience was, because I remember mine.